Hi, I'm Roger Wakefield, lead AP, the expert plumber, coming to you on YouTube Live. And we're in a little early today, which is really cool. What I'm going to tell you is, look, if you've never been here before and you actually just clicked onto the channel, this is a live stream that we do every Monday. This is a special version. We're starting an hour early because I've got to teach 38,000 real estate agents later how to do social media. So if you've jumped into this live stream and you just clicked on my channel, you may want to go check out a video to find exactly what you're looking for, or you may want to hang around. During our live stream, we have apprentices, we have plumbers, we have plumbers that want to get better and plumbers that want to own their own company. We also have business owners in here. We talk everything about how to get into the trades, how to get better at the trades, and how to use social media to grow in the trades. So, man, if this is your first time in, welcome. I do appreciate you being here, and hopefully you learn a lot and like what you see. And I am literally trying to go in here and make sure that I can see everything that I'm supposed to see. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I know it was crazy for us. I want to say hello to, man, Black Goat Schwarzgeister. How are you? Good to see you. Man, I'm Black Ghost. Yes. I want y'all to know tomorrow I'm getting this eye fixed. Next Tuesday I'm getting this eye fixed, and we are going to have fun. So the whole thing is, man, this was a crazy, crazy weekend. And I really hope that everybody's doing good because I'm going to get to share a little bit of excitement. Man, we blew up this weekend. And I got to tell people that because this has just literally been crazy. I mean, literally, me and the team, we were texting each other all weekend long, like, oh my gosh, do you see this? Do you know about this? Do you see what's going on? And it's really been pretty cool. Friday morning, we had 59,000 subscribers. And I guess here lately, we've been moving up a little bit where we're getting about 2,000 subscribers a week. So it's pretty cool. You know, we're looking at projecting, and man, our big goal has been to try to hit 100,000 subs by the end of the year. And man, we're going to make it. But literally that's why we keep an eye on everything, because we do. It's just like any other business. We have projections, we have goals, we have the things that we're trying to do. And literally we were at 59,100 subs Friday morning. And this morning we crossed 70,000 subs. And actually during the day now, I think we've crossed 72, or we're up to it. We've crossed 72,000. So it has literally been a crazy day, tons of views. And the neat thing is, everything I'm getting is that YouTube is recommending us to a lot of people. So Black Ghost Schwarzgeister, I want to say thank you very much for being here. I do appreciate it. Good to have you in here. And anybody else that this is your first time into the live, do me a favor, leave a comment down below and say, hey, this is the first time. I hope it works out well. I see we have Neil, the Urban Explorer, in the house. Good to see you here, brother. It's lovely for you. And look, I know it because what time is it over? 9 o'clock at night, something like that. So Neil normally stays up till 10 o'clock, actually till about 11:30. But if you're not subscribed to Neil over on Urban Explorer, please do so. I love watching his videos because when he starts cutting holes in the side of his van, I'm like, oh my gosh, I could never do that. But man, it always turns out good, turns out really neat. Neil, I don't know if you caught that. Man, I got about 13,000 subs between Friday and today. It is crazy. And the neat thing is our views have literally exploded too. I was in there looking a while ago. You know, we get 20 to 30,000 views a day. And I say that it's normally more than that. It's probably 30 to 35. Here lately, we're getting 20,000 an hour. So it's definitely pretty wild. But Neil, man, brother, I appreciate everything you do. Thanks for staying up and modding. And man, thank you for being here. We actually had fun a couple of weeks ago, and I say that, and it's not really true. We had a bunch of trolls jump in. So man, it was tough. I had no mods here. And I'm trying to, I'm hitting the be right back screen. It's like, okay, let me clear out a few things and do what I can do, but pretty wild. Joe Holland says, fun times roughing in a house and running all PVC and type Apex. And I tell you what, Joe, it's neat that you put type Apex because I love that. I love the Uponor, the expansion, and I'm not sure what brand you're using. Uponor has been a game changer, I think, for us. Not just because it's a good product, but because it speeds up labor. And I truthfully, ever since the first time I heard about Uponor, I really liked it. I was very impressed by it. And I think there's some neat things about it. So, Joe, I appreciate you jumping in. Tell me this, where are you located? And I don't know how much of this I will be able to see, but I hope that, you'll all leave a comment where you're located and what you're doing. Are you a plumber, an apprentice? Are you a journeyman or a master? What is it you're doing? And let us know. I want to say a special thanks there to Abby 4H. How are you? Says just sub like 20 minutes ago. Sub 20 minutes ago, already jumped in the live stream. You got to love that. So, Abby, my question is, are you a plumber? Are you an apprentice? Are you trying to be a plumber? I have people that get on here and watch videos, and literally it's funny because they will leave me messages and say, oh my God, I've been binge watching your videos. I've never wanted to be a plumber. I still don't. But I've thought about being an electrician, or I've thought about being an HVAC tech. And I just want to say thanks, because all the information you put in, you could literally change out to any type trade or any business, and this helps. So I love that. So Abby, number one, thank you for subscribing. Number two, absolutely, thank you for jumping into the live stream. I love that. It's pretty cool that people will say, hey, look, man, I'm just going to jump in. I'm going to see what's going on. I'm going to say hello. There's another one right there. I want to give a shout out to Deonte Richardson. How are you doing today? Good to see so many people in here already, because I know I messed things up today because I've got to teach 38,000 real estate agents to do LinkedIn. To do LinkedIn and to do YouTube. They want me to talk about both. Now, luckily, I've got experience talking about LinkedIn. I spoke at VidCon, spoke at Video Marketing World about it a little bit too. But the main thing that I do is right here, is YouTube. But I do have a lot of people that ask me to either coach them on LinkedIn or YouTube, both. But the ones that, I really enjoy are the tradespeople, the people that are involved with residential homeowners, the customers, end users, people like that. That makes me feel good because, man, I think that we've really learned to reach out to our consumer, to our customer, get good information in front of them. And, man, I love that. So, Zach Ruddick, how are you doing? Good to have you in here, stuck on a roof, filling and testing roof drains. Glad to be here. Man, I'm glad you're here too, Zach. The neat thing is, and look, guys, there are people that jump in here that are apprentices, that are journeymen, that are masters, that are RMPs, that are company owners and big company owners. So there's so many people that jump in here all the time. And the neat thing is, look, I don't know everything in the world. And I love it when somebody jumps in and asks a question that, man, I'm not real sure about it. Or I'll say, or maybe they ask about a license in Canada. Maybe they ask about licensing in New Zealand. And we get questions. Perfect timing. Jesse Spot says, hello from Greece. Jesse, good to see you. And I love your profile picture there. I can't tell what that is because, man, my eyes are messed up, but we're working on that. It's a what?
It's some sort of landscape. It looks really nice, a sunset.
Man, it does. Trees. It looks really, really cool. Even from here, I'm like, wow. I need to make sure that I check that out later. So, man, I appreciate that. I'm going in tomorrow to get my right eye fixed. And it's not that I mind wearing glasses. It's just, it's taking them off and on continuously.
Here's when you should be able to spot
that. I know, I see that. I recognize that beautiful face right there. Just is like, boom, there she is. If y'all are not subscribed to Christina Smallhorn, you need to. Christina, Neil, Paul Peck is liable to jump in later. Christina, great seeing you here early today. I've got to teach a YouTube class later or LinkedIn/YouTube class later today for 38,000 real estate agents, I think, are signed up right now. And I love that because I love getting asked to do things like that. Christina, I don't know if you heard me earlier. We got 13,000 subscribers between Friday morning at 5 o'clock to this morning at 7 o'clock. And our views, well, how many views have we received in the last 3 days? You remember the number?
I know in the last 48 hours, it's been over 500,000.
Oh, guys, I got to tell you, I love y'all. That is just really, it is so cool. It's a neat thing for somebody like me because, look, I'm not a big YouTuber. I think we're getting good at it. I think that we practice a lot at it. And I love that. I'm one of these people, and I tell people all the time when it comes to plumbing, look, never stop learning. I've got code books, I've got study guides, I've got illustrated study guides. And man, that's been one of the coolest things about trying to tackle social media. We have jumped in with both feet, got deep into it, tried to learn it. And I got to tell you, I love it. It keeps my mind going. It keeps me focused. But the neat thing, and Christina knows about this, is helping the people that are watching the videos. And that's what we do it for. So I love this opportunity. Thank you all so much. Question from Jonah Gerald says, I want to be in residential service plumbing, but should I learn how to build first or just start in service? If so, what will be the best path? Thanks. You're an inspiration. Well, Jonah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. You know, different people take it on different. And Jonah, I don't know if you've done the free mini course and if that's why you want to do residential service. But here's what I'll tell you is I started in new construction. It was actually a remodel. So new construction, commercial, non-union. I ended up residential, service, and up until the beginning of this month, union. So I see both sides of it. The things that I would ask, and I do in my mini course, is, do you like to build things or do you like to fix things? Do you want to be on one job for a long time? Because commercial, you can literally end up on the same job for a long time. Or service, 3 or 4 different jobs a day maybe. And union or non-union, that's up to each individual's preference. If you know what you want to do, and look, I think that learning to build can teach you about what's behind the walls. And I'll ask you this, Jonah, where you're located, because if you're in Texas, you're going to have to learn what's behind the walls anyway, because you're going to end up having to do a rough end down in Austin on a dollhouse to get your license anyway. So there's a lot of different ways to look at it. But man, start out where you can get in and learning the most. And if you want to go through a union training program, something like that, I understand it's a good way to do it. If not, and if you know you want to do residential service, skip the union completely. Look at PHCC. They've got some great opportunities. And look around for what plumbing company is around you that is hiring, that's doing the kind of work that you want to do. And man, start applying. Go down and talk to them. Let them know that you're interested in it. Are you already out of school, already looking for a job, or what's going on here? And the reason I ask that is it's so funny. I was walking this morning listening to Gary Vee, and he talks about used to the trades were heavily promoted, and then it was up. Trades aren't any good. You're not going to have a good living. Go to college. And man, I think all that is turning around because there's so many people getting out of the trades because they're getting older. There's so few people getting into it now and look, guys, before the coronavirus hit, I used to tell everybody, I think plumbers will be making $100 an hour on their check in about 5 years. I still don't think I'm far from that because, just because we've got the coronavirus, I don't know that more people are getting into the trades. I think that number may have even slowed down more than it was, but people are still retiring. So I think that we're liable to hit that supply and demand issue earlier. But the cool thing about it is, and if you get into the trades now, you're going to have a great opportunity. Ruben Baruman says, hi, I want to get my C36 license in the near future. Are there any plumbing law and code books that you recommend to study to help you prepare? Ruben, here in Texas, we don't have to do law. Part of the RMP course to become a responsible master plumber, you do have to take a 3-day course, and part of it is studying taxes and a little bit of business law, not a lot. For the C36, I got a question there. Do you do IPC or UPC in California? And the reason I ask is, man, I love the UPC study guide. I think that the way they've got it done is really cool. The way that I study it, which if I'm not mistaken for the C36, that's an open book test. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the UPC study guide has the answers in the back, and I teach people, look, open the book, find the answers, go through and mark all the correct answers in yellow, and then go back to the questions and read through it like a book. Get to where you can read every question, you know every answer before you get to it. Because you'll read the question and you're going to read nothing but the right answer. You're going to read the next question, you're going to read nothing but the right answer. And that way, by the time you've gone through this book 3 or 4 times, and you're going to go through it quick because you're just reading 10 questions per page, 8 per page, something like that. You're going to go through it quick, and then, boom, you've got it down. Then about a week before your test, cover the answers up with a piece of paper, read the question. If you don't know that answer 100%, mark it in pink. And then for the next week, go back and read nothing but the pink questions and answers only. And I'm telling you, stuff like that will make a big difference. It'll make it how you memorize it just from reading it. And man, it really does. It helps me out so much. And anybody that I've taught, it helps them too. Okay, so Carlos Moreno wants to be a plumber. I love that. Here's the deal. Start looking for a job. And what I mean by that is Carlos, do you, number one, the mini course I talked about a while ago, and I don't know if Will's got a link over there to it that he can drop down in the comments, and he may already have. He's really good at that. But, you know, we've got a free mini course that literally, and Carlos, all it does is it asks you the things I talked about a while ago. What kind of plumber do you want to be? Say that again, Will? It is in the description. There you go. The neat, I told you, look, Will's so far ahead of me, it's crazy. Here's the thing is, find out what kind of plumber you want to be first. And the reason I tell people that, the reason that to me, I think that's such a big deal is that if I want to build things and I get a job at a residential service plumbing company and I've just got to go and stop toilets all day, I'm going to realize I don't like plumbing. But if I'm the kind of guy I like to fix things and all I'm doing is going out to a construction site and cleaning up around the job site all day, every day, I may decide I don't like plumbing. That's why to me that mini course where it asks you what kind of plumber do you want to be, I think that is huge. And I really think it makes a big difference in, you know, how long people last in the trades. Look, when I got into plumbing, I had no idea there were different types of plumbing. I had no idea about service and new construction. I had no idea about residential and commercial. So this was a big deal to me to make sure that when I started teaching people about plumbing, I started explaining the different types of plumbing. Midnight Moon, I like that name. I have a question. What's the worst thing that's ever happened?
I assume that you've seen on the plumbing job, not in general.
Yeah, if you've ever seen that video, you know, and I got to tell you, and it wasn't me, but it's another plumber that I've talked to that was telling me about a story, and he was doing a commercial job. And him and I were in the union together, but he was doing a commercial job, and he was doing a test. And the problem is, you know, your test tees, big 10, 12-inch test tees, are down in the basement. So he's got test balls in there, and he's got 2x4s in to plug it, make sure they don't go by, anything like that. And he's got about 3 floors of 10-inch pipe, and they branch off, you know, all the branches and stuff like that. but he is trying to test, I think it was 3 floors. And he runs up. Well, they're having a party, an investor party that night down in the basement. So they've got these nice picnic tables that they've got, placemats on them, that they've got tablecloths on them. They've got everything in the world on them. And they've got food there because it's being catered. And this was not a cheap caterer. And all of a sudden, he's up on the second or third floor, and he sees the water drop. He's like, what the heck? And because he was just getting it full, he's like, man, I was to the top. And he goes running downstairs, and by the time he gets there, he says water is almost 3 feet deep in the basement. And he just didn't know what to do. Now, I listened to his sob story and all that, but here's the thing. Number one, you want to make sure you're not testing when there's anything crazy like that going on. That's pretty wild, though. I would have to say, I say that, God, I could probably talk about them all day long. I saw a guy drop something into a grease trap one day. And, smells funky, nasty. If you've ever worked on grease traps, you know what I'm talking about. And this guy's literally, hanging on to it, trying to stick his head down in there and grab it. And he finally got it. But, I'm telling you, you couldn't have paid me to ride in a vehicle with him. It was horrible. So, Midnight Mooner, there's a lot of stories. A lot of them are probably wives' tales, but there are a lot of stories. But, man, look, there's crazy things happen in every business, every trade, every career across the country. My thing is just think smart, think ahead, and always think about what's the worst thing that could happen. That way you know and you don't let it happen. Jonathan Crump, how are you doing, sir? This is my first time. Have a lot of respect for honest service professionals. I like that. Thank you. Good to have you in here. The cool thing is, and like I said, we get a ton of people in here. There's apprentices, there's tradesmen, there's journeymen, there's masters, there's people that want to get into the trades, all the way up to people that own their own companies and are doing a lot of the same things that we are with social media and different things. So, this is a great place to hang out. Don't feel afraid to ask a question. People ask questions all the time. And, literally, man, we got good people in here. Nobody's going to make you feel stupid. Nobody's going to wear you out. Man, none of us knew anything about plumbing before we got in it. So you're in a safe spot here. I'm going to reach over here and get a glass of tea real quick. Here's another good name, Hitbox Rework. It says, hello, sir. I am enlisting in the Air Force. Well, number one, thank you for your service. I appreciate that. I think that's a neat thing. And I've got a nephew that's actually a fighter pilot in the Air Force. So, man, congratulations and good luck. And just recently got booked as a plumber by my recruiter. Man, that's cool. I'm just wondering if you had any advice to someone who has no knowledge on plumbing. Thanks. Absolutely. You heard me talking about the UPC study guide earlier. Now, here's the cool thing is, depending on where you live, like in Texas, if you document very well that you're plumbing over there and what all you're working on and what all you're doing, and maybe if they ship you somewhere else, get notes from your commanding officer, say, hey, look, can I just get a letter of recommendation? When I get back to the States, I may want to become a plumber. I'd like to get this done. Man, I think that is so cool. I really, man, there's a lot of times I look back at my life and I'm like, man, I should have gone to the military. I think I would have enjoyed it. But then again, I think I'd also got my butt kicked because I know I'd have messed up. I messed up a lot when I was younger. So, man, all I got to say is Hitbox Rework. Congratulations. I hope it goes well for you. I hope you enjoy it. Learn all you can about plumbing over there while they're paying you. You can use your GI Bill when you come back, depending on where you go, like maybe a trade school, the union. There's a lot of different opportunities, but I hope it all works out really, really good for you. And again, thank you for your service. Daniel Torres says, I find it amusing how much you guys use PVC for drains out here in California. We use ABS all the time. And Daniel, I got a question because I love it. Why do y'all use ABS? Because I've wondered that. All we use is PVC. And I say that. The last time I used cast iron was a big commercial job. It was a multi-story hospital, 2 million square feet. My question is, why do y'all use ABS? And I know that there's got to be a reason y'all use that and we use PVC. I'm just kind of wondering what it is, or if you know, and why is it amusing? Because I've seen ABS, we just never use it. So I think that's strange that y'all do and we don't, and y'all don't use PVC and we do. Man, what's the reasoning behind that? And I'm sure that there's got to be a good reason. And Daniel, if you know, man, I'd love to hear it. If not, I need to make sure that's one that I look up, because that's one I've been curious about before. And is California the only people that use ABS? Because I know a lot of people across the country that use PVC, so I'm just kind of always curious as to why. But that's pretty interesting. Sorry, I had to put my lid on.
Do want to let you know we've got over 100 watching right now.
All right, first time we've broken 100. We've been close to it before. So guys, I appreciate that. I will say this, since there's 100 people in here, if y'all just found this channel or anything like that and you hadn't subscribed, look, if you like plumbing, anything about plumbing, you want to learn it, you want to talk it, you want to grow and get better at it, subscribe, share it, tell other people about it that you may know. And if you like this live stream, if you like the things we're talking about, the people I have in here, don't hate on Will or anything, but if you like everything else, give us a thumbs up. I really would appreciate it. So I've got Tony B 174. What's up, Roger? What's the best way to fix pipes that are knocking? It's really going to depend on where they're at. The problem that we run into with pipes knocking is either they're not secured well, they're not anchored well. There's normally a hard cutoff, meaning if you have a faucet, like a lavatory faucet on, and you just shut it all the way off and it pops real quick, sometimes you can hear that pipe banging and rattling. There's not an easy way. Just off the top of my head, as soon as you said that, the first thing I thought is, if you can tell like where it is in the wall, maybe make a hole big enough for a straw and take some of that spray foam, spray a little bit in there. And I say a little bit because if you spray too much and it starts swelling, it will literally push the sheetrock off. So be very careful about that. But that's a possibility. If it's, down on a floor, I guess you could do the same thing where it comes through a floor joist or something. But you just want to make sure you're careful not to use too much of that expanding spray foam, because it will keep expanding and it can cause problems. Tony B, that's a good question. I appreciate that.
He just said it's a continuous knock when the toilet flushes.
If it's a knock just when the toilet flushes, it may be that your fill valve has got trash in it and it's not letting the water through in a laminar flow. It's more of a turbulent flow. And you may end up needing to change out your fill valve. And man, I've seen that happen before. And I've seen it before where, it hammered so bad, it was loud. So man, that's an easy fix though. Changing out your fill valve, not much to that. That's just a few bucks. I'm sure you can handle that one. I've got a video for you. Me and Will are on the same page. It's like, wait, I've got a video for that. It really is easy to do. Elliot Alexander, how are you today? Hey, I'm an apprentice, level 1, going into level 2 at the end of next week. Any advice for the big jump? And here's the thing. Now, do y'all have 4 levels or do you have 5 where you're at? Because here there's 8 levels. There's 10 levels. Level 1 and 2 are first year, level 3 and 4 are second, and they do it that way. So Elliot, I'm curious to where you're at. But
he just actually jumped in and said he's in college in the UK.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So, man, and see, I love that. I think it'd have been cool to go through something like a college to learn plumbing because, guys, literally, when I started learning plumbing, God, I think I was still riding my covered wagon to work Maybe it wasn't that long ago. The neat thing is, I just learned from plumbers out in the field. Luckily for me, I knew some great plumbers, and that's who I worked with. But what I will tell you this is, the cool thing about it is, man, there's books, there's YouTube, there's so many things that you can learn. If you get something you get stuck on, you can figure it out. So a level 1 to a level 2. I'm curious as to how many levels you have and whatnot. But what I love about this is it's a progression. You're going to learn a little bit, you're going to get good at it, and then you're going to move up and you're going to learn some new things. And the one thing that I used to teach apprentices here is always focus on learning. Learn what you can. And you may say, well, look, I'm in a class that teacher really doesn't care. They're not teaching anything. They just give us the assignments and leave or whatever. Learn everything that you can. And I'm telling you, one day you're going to appreciate the fact that you know more than most of the other apprentices because you studied when they were like, look, nobody cares if I do this or try this or pass this or whatever. So do what you can, learn all you can. And to me, that's the biggest thing. Keep on learning. You're always going to appreciate that. Backflow Joe says hello, and I like that. So Joe, are you a backflow? Are you a backflow preventer tester? And I ask that because I used to have my certification to where I was a backflow tester. And I just got to tell you, man, everybody started undercutting the prices. I mean, literally, I could get it done for cheaper than I could go do it. And it was, I mean, by the time I went and did it, by the time I did the paperwork, by the time I went to the city, by the time I did all that, I'm like, you know what? This just isn't worth it. So, Backflow Joe, are you certified? Is it here local? What all do you do? Just curious. Joe Hallman, good to have you in here, brother. I do appreciate it. And I know that we've got a lot of new people because, man, our subs here lately, it's really been crazy. But it's really cool, too, because I've had so many people. And here we go right here. Oat Bucket. Love that name, too. So it says, hey, man, just found your channel today. I'm an electrician's apprentice. Interested in switching careers. See, you need to watch my plumber versus electrician video. You know, if you're smart enough to find this channel, you are smarter than most electricians. And I'm joking. You know, the neat thing is, and those of y'all that know me know, look, I talk about the trades. I've got another YouTube channel. We're just getting started. I've got a magazine called The Trade Talks. If y'all are interested in it, go look at www.thetradetalks.com. We are literally reaching out to electricians, HVAC techs, roofers, plumbers, landscapers, home painters, anybody in the trades. And it can be commercial trades, it can be residential trades. But what we're reaching out for, I want to, and I am, because as y'all will see, we have the first one out. But the purpose of my magazine, and we're starting a podcast, the purpose of my magazine and podcast are so that people can understand, look, there's an alternative to college. But it can be people that want to get into the trades, but it can also be people that are already in the trades that want to get better. And when I say the trades, I don't just mean plumbing. And, you know, one day you may be the kind of person that says, hey, look, I want to own my own company. And we are trying to put all that information together and teach people so they understand, look, there's a different way other than just going to college or just getting a job in corporate America and moving up. There are alternatives out there. So, man, Oat Bucket, I love the fact that you're an electrician. I think anybody in the trades has an amazing opportunity ahead of them just because of the way the world's going and what's happening. So I want to say I really do appreciate you being here. I appreciate you jumping in and claiming to be an electrician, man. That took, no, I'm joking. I really am. I'm glad you came over. And guys, I've had electricians, I've had HVAC techs reach out to me and say, man, look, I watch your channel and you always say that what you're teaching is about plumbing. But to be honest, if you took out the word plumber and put an electrician or roofer or HVAC tech or window cleaner or painter or landscaper, man, it all works. So my thing is, if you want to be a better tradesman, man, I love that. Chris Milson, how are you, sir? Good to see you in here. And I say, sir, Chris may be a female. Just don't want to mess up here. Because look, and I had somebody ask me about this the other day. Do you recommend women get into the trades? It's like, oh my God, yes. And they're like, well, what about minorities? It's like, why not? And they're like, well, you just don't see a whole bunch of women or a whole bunch of minorities or a whole bunch of minority women in the trades. It's like, I don't get it. I don't understand why. And Chris, I'm not trying to go off. I thought about that based on me saying your name. My thought is, look, 3 or 4 of the top plumbers I know in Texas are female. And I mean everything from the executive director at the Texas State Board, former chief plumbing inspector in the city of Dallas, a couple of directors at training centers and continuing ed and stuff like that. And one of them's a mechanical engineer. And it's like, look, these women, when I talk plumbing with them, I realize, look, I don't know everything in the world. These girls are good. So, Chris, whether you're male or female, man, congratulations. I appreciate you being in here. Love the videos. You have no idea how much help you have been to me. You're an awesome man. Thank you. And look, I mean that because I love being able to help people. And, you know, all the time in my videos in here, you hear me say, look, never stop learning. I have been doing this 40 years and I still study the trade. I still pull out the code books and look at it. I still look at the illustrated diagrams. I still look every morning on the internet and study new tools, new techniques, new materials. I'm always reaching out to product manufacturers. If y'all saw my video about the Vito tool bag, oh my God, I love that thing. And, you know, we need to do some more videos because I got some more bags over there, got some more to come in so I could do some more videos about it. I love our trade and love what we do. You got something, Will?
Yeah, I want to send over a super chat. We just got a super chat. If you're done with Chris Milson,
I am. Chris, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Got a super chat from Pain in the 7th Hokage. Man, I read that right too, didn't I? Thank you so much. I appreciate the super chat. Question says, in the video where you did a gas repair, the glasses you wore also record. The glasses you wore also recorded. Yes, they did. And where to find them? Cheers from California. Those are actually called, Will, what is it? Is it iView? IVUE.
Yeah, iView.
Okay, so Pain in the 7th Hokage, I'm going to tell you this. I had a problem with them. And what it was, I guess that was the video where I did the gas line. Did I wore them there?
Yeah, with the Milwaukee threader, I think.
Okay. I did another video, and go back and look at it. It's where I did the 2-way cleanouts. And man, we get a lot of people busting our tail now. Why do y'all build 2-way cleanouts? It's like, oh my God, we need them. But in that one, I wore those glasses too because that's where they fogged up. So that was my problem with them. The lens, man, here in Texas and California, it gets hot. Here in Texas, it gets humid. California, Cannon areas. The problem was the lens on it fogged up, and I didn't even realize it. Even when I took them off, I just put them in the case, and I come in and Will's like, "Hey, would you do the video?" It's like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Man, it just started getting like real fuzzy, real gray, real cloudy." And I went out and pulled the glasses out, and they were still moist on the inside. But we actually reached out to them. I think that they were gonna give us another pair, or we could order another pair or something. I don't know.
They talked about it, but we ended up just using the GoPro. It just worked better.
Yeah, now we've got a deal where I take one of my caps, I put it on backwards. I've got a clip that goes up under the front of the cap, and then I've got a GoPro here. Matter of fact, if you've watched many of my videos, the one where I busted the plumbing company almost costing a new home buyer $40,000, that one is one that, and I mean, y'all think about it, because the whole time this guy's looking at me talking, yep, we messed up. Yep, we cheated. Yeah, we didn't do that right. I'm wearing a GoPro right here. And dude's just looking me straight in the eye and say, yep, we screwed up. But I tell you what, man, the kid was cool about it. He's like, look, man, it ain't my company. It wasn't me that came out here. He says, but my relatives on the company, I'm gonna talk to him because the guy who came out here didn't do the right thing. So you got to love it when people do things like that. So man, I appreciate the noticing that. We've got those in two different glasses. I've got tinted lenses and I've got clear. And I don't know, we need to contact them some more because I tell you what, I enjoyed that so much. The great Paul Peck is in the house with the super chat. I love that. Thank you, Paul Peck. Man, me and you need to talk. It has been a crazy week. I'll mention it again because I know people jump in and out. Paul, we woke up Friday morning with 59,100 subscribers. And during our morning meeting this morning, we hit 70,000, and I think we're up to 72.3, 72.4, something like that. Literally, we got like 13,000 subs in the last 3 days. It's crazy. But I want to say thank you for the super chat. If that's another one right there, guys. And this is one I mentioned before if y'all were in here. Paul Peck, definitely subscribe. Christina Smallhorn, definitely subscribe. 72.3. And then Neil the Urban Explorer, definitely subscribe.
And also thanks to Paul Peck and Neil and everyone else for being awesome moderators.
Oh my God, yes. And as you see, Paul, I've got Will in here with me now. About 3 weeks ago, we got hit by trolls, and got hammered, and it was just me. Will had something going on that night. Julie had left. Amber and Grayson, it is me, and all of a sudden, and I'm pulling in the comments, so I'm not reading the live chat. And by the time I got down to the troll comments, it was like, oh my gosh, what is going on here? And then I'm trying to delete them one at a time and keep talking and answering questions and looking down. So it was pretty wild. So Paul, brother, I appreciate that so much. Thank you very much. Good to have you in here. We definitely need to talk. Crazy things going on. The reason I talk about Paul Peck, the reason I talk about Neil the Urban Explorer, and speaking of Neil the Urban Explorer.
With a super chat.
I know, another super chat. Thank you so much.
And we got one more after that, too.
Just because you're awesome and that Peck did one as well. Y'all guys, look, I love y'all. Y'all know that. And the neat thing, and that's what's so cool about this community is, I wouldn't tell you to go watch Neil or Christina or Paul if these weren't good people making good content, putting great stuff out there. And guys, I go watch their stuff. So to me, well worth it. Definitely worth having these guys in here. So to my mods, Will, Amber, Grayson, Julie, I don't know if y'all are in here or not, but I just want to say thank you all. I really do appreciate it. And Neil, Paul, thank you very much. And I know I got another one coming up, so I'll just kind of keep it right there a second. But, it is so neat because you get these people in here. Jake Schroeder, want to say thank you very much. What do you think about plumbing as a second career? Man, you're going to love this one. Well, number one, I started plumbing right out of high school, but along the way, I have got out of plumbing. I've been a restaurant manager. I've been a bartender. I've been a bouncer. I've been a bodyguard. I've been a cosmetologist. I've been a massage therapist. And that's probably the big ones. So if you mean a second career, like, hey, I'm going to keep doing this during the day and do plumbing at night or something, it may be hard to find a job doing that. I love the mindset. My thing is, luckily for me, I got into plumbing early, got my plumbing license early, so I could plumb during the day and I could do these other things at night, and that was pretty cool. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. As a second career, meaning if you've been doing something for 20, 25 years and you're tired of it, ready to get out, you may start out at a lower pay, but I'm telling you, it can be a good thing. And I know people that get out of the elevator union, they get into plumbing so they'll have 2 retirements. So lots of good opportunity. You got anything, Will? Aha. Another one here. You got to love this. From Deonte Richardson. Brother, thank you so much. Here's the thing is, this is an amazing career. This is an amazing trade and an amazing profession. And, I love it. Paul Peck is in drywall. And the cool thing is you go over to his channel and he's literally teaching you how to do it and how to do the specialty things, the things that he does. And I think that's so cool because so many people out there don't want to teach you how to do it. They just want to tell you, look, anybody can do it. Just go do it. There's nothing to it. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot to it. And there's a lot to it doing it right. And that's what I love about, watching Paul and Neil. The video Neil did with his girlfriend where they're literally cutting the window in the van and installing it. Man, I was just blown away. I was like, wow. I mean, he just literally cut a hole in the side of his van. Now, look, there's a new tool out there called YouTube. And I know that sounds crazy. I want y'all to think about it, though. There's another one called Google. And between those two, you can learn to do just about anything. So I think it is so neat. So Deonte, Paul, Neil, thank you all so much. I really do appreciate it. What's neat is Paul teaches you about his trade, about his profession. And that's what I am trying to do too. Got another one here from CMC Manor. Thank you so much. I like that. I think your voice would be a good voice for acting. Man, I got to tell you, it's funny you mentioned that because I was on the phone earlier. I do have a manager. I started getting reached out to from New York, people asking me if I'd be interested in doing a TV show about plumbing. And I've got a good friend who has a manager, and I didn't know what he had at the time. I just knew that he had representation. So I reached out to him and said, look, do I need a manager? Do I need an agent? Do I need a PR person? And man, I get a phone call because I texted him, and I get a phone call back about 3 minutes later and says, hey, is everything okay? I'm like, yeah, everything's fine. Why? He says, well, I was in the meeting and I saw that, and I want to make sure everything's okay. I said, man, look, go back to your meeting. Just call me later. He says, no, I'm out of the meeting. I came out. Let's talk. What's up? And I explained it to him, and he says, okay, this is funny. I'm gonna make a phone call, and then I'm gonna send you my manager's name. So he did. He apparently contacted them. So then all of a sudden I get a text, and it's got somebody else on it, and it's got Shab. And then he sends a message back, says, hey, Shab's female. So a couple of days later, I call Shab, and Shab's like, look, we're not taking on any new talent. We're kind of full. We've kind of like the stable that we have. Everything's good. She said, but you sent me your YouTube channel. I'll check it out. And then what I'll do is if I can think of somebody that might be good for you to work with, I'll send this over to them. And I thought, man, you can't ask for any more than that. And about 2 days later, I get a message that says, oh my God, we love you. We think your channel's great. We like what you're doing. We like your attitude. We like your energy. So you know what? CMC Manor, I hope it all works out. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the comment because, I've always been told I have a face for radio, and I believe that, but it's great. How do I know when the company I work for is not right for me? I'm an apprentice plumber with 4,100 hours. Mr. Dylan Sanchez, here's what I would say is, if you're already asking if they're not right for you, that you probably just answered your own question. And I hate to say it that way, but are you learning? Are you growing? Are you getting what it needs to feed you? And don't get me wrong, I'm one of these people that I truthfully think, hey, look, we've got to take care of the companies that take care of us. And I believe that. I completely believe that. But at the end of the day, if we're not being taken care of too, if we're not getting what it needs to motivate us, if we're not getting what we need to make it exciting to get up out of bed. So if you're asking if the company is not right for you, do you already know that? And I ask because normally when people are asking, hey, is it time for me to make a career change? They already know. And by career change, I mean another company. I don't mean get out of it. But I mean at 4,100 hours, if you're in Texas, You could be a tradesman. You could be running a van by yourself. You could be a revenue creating entity at a company. So, you got to think about, are you getting what you need? Are you being treated fairly? Do you like where you're at? And maybe, you know what, it's kind of tough right now, but man, I love the people. I love the character of the company. I love what they believe in. If there's only one thing you're upset with, go talk to somebody about it. But if you think it is probably time to make a change, then that's probably the right time to think about it. Sorry about that. I need to keep my throat wet and cold today because at 4:30, now guys, y'all know we normally start at 4 o'clock, but at 4:30, and actually right before, I've got to jump off because, man, I'm doing a LinkedIn/YouTube training class for 38,000 real estate agents. I think that's pretty cool. So Sean Donnelly says, I work at a big box. I have so many customers wanting to use those bendy P traps. I love your video that you did the other day. You know what, Sean, man, I appreciate that because I get people all the time that we go to their house. It's like, hey, man, this isn't good. They're like, oh, no, it's great. My handyman or my sister's boyfriend put that in or, whoever it is. And it's like, man, look, have you ever taken it apart and looked inside of it? Especially if they come off the disposal or, oh, man, you can catch funky crud in there. And, the thing that I try to tell people is, look, the plumbing code says the interior pipe should have smooth, straight edges. And it just doesn't happen all the time. And I'll tell you what, me and Will put out a deal. If y'all hadn't seen our YouTube video about pictures that, some of the craziest or insane pictures y'all sent us. And the cool thing is we put that out a week ago Friday. And man, we thought it was blowing up until this last weekend. Now we know what blowing up looks like. What we did though is we told people, and I'll tell y'all right now, if you've got any crazy pictures or videos, send them to video@rogerwakefield.com. because we're already looking at pictures and videos for the next video like that. And I got to tell y'all, that was pretty good. And the videos and stuff that I've got since then is like, oh my gosh. So definitely looking forward to it. Sean, I appreciate you jumping in here. And, I've got the video about that, about the saddle tap tee. Man, there's a lot of things out there people shouldn't be using, and they are. Or their handyman is.
This Jonah Gerald, I think, posted a comment earlier saying
he asked a question.
14 years old and already asking questions about whenever they become a master plumber.
You know what, man? I love that.
What a hustler.
Yeah. So Jonah, here's what I'm going to tell you is, look, I have people reach out all the time. Hey, I'm starting high school, but I want to be a plumber. Or, hey, I'm a sophomore, whatever it is. 14, I love that. Because here's the thing. You can start, number one, binge watch my videos, figure out what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And I'm not saying that just to get the views. Find somebody else. Make sure they're doing it right, though. Watch and learn. And I mean, this is so funny because my wife and I are involved nationwide with a company that works with a lot of the trades. And they start teaching them how to do the back office and things like that. It's really cool. And look, I love it. The funny thing is, I went by there Tuesday, and no, it was Wednesday, second day. I went by there because Julie had to step out to do a Zoom call for Master Networks, and that's the company that we're signed up with that we literally got out and started learning how to network with. It's been great for us. But I go over there Wednesday from 9:30 to 10:30 because that's when her call is, and I walk in. And they take a break at 10:15. So the two guys in front of me turn around. They're talking. They're like, oh, my God, you're that plumber on YouTube. And the guy that was over the plumbing, because one of them was HVAC, the other was plumbing, but they own a company together. The one who ran the plumbing side was literally like, we teach our plumbers to watch your videos and study and use that. We literally use your videos to train our plumbers. So, Jonathan, man, I appreciate you jumping in here. Jonah, sorry about that. Jonah, I appreciate you jumping in here. Man, I love to see somebody young get excited about it and say, look, this is what I want to do. How do I start learning? By the time you become an apprentice or a journeyman or any of that, you're going to be so far ahead of everybody else. It's going to be crazy. So I love seeing that. Mike C says, what kind of plumbing knowledge should average house owners learn? We bought our house 2 years ago, and all I know how to do is snake and replace cartridges. Mike, that's a great question. And what I love about this is you're the person that I literally started making this channel for. We decided when we started this channel, we were going to make videos teaching homeowners how to fix their own plumbing. And a lot of the things I do in here, homeowners can do. It probably took a year before we figured, hey, we've got more people that want to get into the trades or are already in the trades and looking for a place to learn how to be better. So Mike, probably for the first year, every video we made was for homeowners wanting to learn how to fix their own plumbing. And I still talk about that quite often, meaning everything that we teach, I mean, here in Texas, if it's your house and it is your registered homestead, you are legally allowed to fix your own plumbing. Now, you've got to do it by the plumbing license law and board rules, meaning if you install plumbing, you have to get it inspected if a plumber would. So you have to go pretty much by the same laws, doing it exactly the same way, making sure it's done right. So to me, man, that's what it's all about. So first house 2 years ago. Okay, you bought your house 2 years ago. You know what? Number one right there, replacing cartridges. Oh my gosh, that saves you so much money. Now, like I said, I've got videos teaching about all kinds of things, how to work on your water heater, how to flush your water heater, how to flush a tankless water heater. So there's tons of things in there. Man, number one, you're off to a good start because you're learning. I love that.
So this was interesting. Choo Choo Rooter Bean was replying to someone else, answering his question, and he said there's no law or code in Tennessee. What do you think about that?
You know, and look, Choo Choo Rooter Bean jumps in here a lot. And I'm not sure. I don't know the answer to this. I thought when we did that video the other day, isn't there a license that you have to have in Tennessee? And I don't remember. So Choo Choo Rooter Bean, I'm going to ask you, isn't there a license in Tennessee, or is Tennessee one of the states written? And we literally just made this video about a month ago. And there may not be. If you're there, look, I believe you. My thing is, yeah, I would be wishing there would be one too. Because when you get handymen out just doing whatever they want to do, or even, and I'm like, no disrespect towards handymen, even plumbers, sander plumbers that don't have a license, there's no code or anything like that, that does kind of blow my mind. But that just means it's a crazy world, and you've got an opportunity to do better than others. Other than that, man, I wish they would create, and I'm going to get on my high horse here for a minute. I wish that they would create a national license. That way, you know, we got hurricanes blowing in South Texas tomorrow or Wednesday, I think.
Yeah, and Louisiana. We got some people in here from Louisiana too. Y'all stay safe.
Yeah, but yeah, be very safe. And, you know, the thing here is, and I love this next one. You know, the thing is, if we get devastated, if Louisiana gets devastated, if we had a national license, plumbers that are not working all across the United States could say, hey, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to help the people in Texas. I'm going to go down, I'm going to get a job. I'm going to sleep in my truck for a day or two till I can find a place to stay. Whatever the case is, look, guys, man, I'm going to be the advocate for a national license and say, let's make this happen just for reasons like that. So, Choo Choo Rooter Bean, brother, I appreciate it. Okay, so smoking soldier. It looks like soilder. Maybe it is. I thought it was SOLDIER. I don't know. Smoking Soldier, I'm going to call it that. East Texas here. I love it. Do you ever plan on branching out towards Tyler or Longview? Funny you ask. I was out in Lindale yesterday. Went out and saw Will's grandfather, my wife's father. You know, I don't know that I've ever thought about it. I've had people ask me if I would be willing to franchise out there so they can use my name. And that's really a neat thing because we have branded so well that Texas Green Plumbing not only has a presence in Texas, it's all across the nation. Any of y'all that have never just gone into YouTube and searched plumbing do, and normally our channel, our banners, our logos, everything comes in up towards the top. On YouTube, normally 6 to 12 of the top 20 stuff is us. So I have not thought seriously about it. We've discussed it when people have called. Eventually, one day we may want to. Our plan has always been go from Dallas to Fort Worth, then do Austin and San Antonio and Houston. So hadn't thought about Tyler or Longview. I've had people ask me about it, and not to say that I wouldn't do it one day, but right now, man, we got a lot going. Just keep Dallas busy, but it's going good. We're actually fixing to buy 4 vans. Those of y'all that have not been here, go check out our webpage, which is texasgreenplumbing.com. And the reason I say that, we just built a new webpage. And Will was talking about it earlier. He said, that's really a good thing to talk about because a lot of people don't know what they need in a webpage or what a webpage should look like. And Will studied SEO for a while, and it really, well, we both did, but Will stuck with it longer than me because, man, it's so far over my head. But man, learning about the basics about a web page and SEO, and I think our new page looks good. What do you think?
It looks really good. And after this, I've got a question about the website or a comment about the website. So
I love it.
We'll get into that after this one.
So, and anybody wants to know about my website, go check it out. And then, man, you can always send me an email to video@rogerwakefield.com. Send me a message there. And if you've got a question about your website, either take a screenshot of it, put it in there, give me a link to it, or, man, just check mine out and tell me what you think. So Chewy Productions, number 2, $4.99 Super Chat. I appreciate that. Says, hi, love the channel. I'm a senior in high school. Love that again. And was wondering what steps I should take if I
get waitlisted in my local UA.
Man, okay. What city are you in? Just curiosity. I would start contacting the local now. And because if you're a senior in high school now, I would contact them and say, look, I graduate in, next March, April, March, right in there. I graduate the end of this school year. I'm interested in becoming a plumber. I've already been studying. I'm already learning. What do I have to do? So getting waitlisted, if you wait till the end of the year and then try to get in and they tell you, hey, we've already got all our applicants or whatever, then I would think about finding a job open shop to learn plumbing. Hey, look, I've been studying, I've been learning, I want to get hands-on experience. I would look at that opportunity. But if you're seriously interested in joining the UA, contact them now, communicate with them, and if you need to, then you go get another job, but tell them I'm interested in coming back in and seeing what's possible.
Chewy just said they are in San Diego, my favorite Californian city.
Chewy's there now? I love that.
That's where Chewy is, yep.
I love that. Yeah, Will and I got to hang out at, we drove down to San Diego, and let's tell you how smart I am. We drove from LA down to San Diego in about an hour, maybe a little over. Went down there to meet with plumbing people, leak detection equipment, stuff like that. Got down there, man, had lunch, did we eat lunch that day? Yeah, we did. We went to that little indoor-outdoor place in San Diego. Really cool. And on the way back, we had rented this convertible Mustang or Camaro or something, wasn't it?
Son, we were in a Jeep.
Were we in a Jeep?
You got me confused.
Oh, I rented the Camaro when his mom was there. Lucky day. So we go down there, and on the way back, it's like, you know what? Let's take the PCH up, the Pacific Coast Highway, from San Diego to LA at about 3:30 in the afternoon. Big freaking mistake. I think that turned into a 4 or 5 hour drive.
I think it was like 6, wasn't it?
It was sad. God, it was sad. But you know what? We had fun. Once we hit LA, late on a Friday night. We were flying back Saturday anyway, but hit LA late Friday. But we stopped at some freaking really good seafood restaurant. And it was like, okay, this literally made the whole thing worth it. It was good. Zach Crawford says, your Texas Green Plumbing website looks cool. The clouds are awesome. You're the second person that have mentioned the clouds. I showed the website to somebody earlier, and they're like, oh my God, I love the way they do those clouds there. That's really neat. So, Zach, I appreciate it. Man, we've spent a lot of money on websites. Those of y'all that don't know my story, that's why we started doing social media. I got tired of getting ripped off by OPM marketing, other people's money. And OPM marketing companies, man, they will kill you. We were paying them a lot of money to make our phone stop ringing. So anyway, this is one that, man, I vetted this guy, checked him out really good, watched a lot of what he did, and thought it was great. And I'm going to go ahead and shut my iPad down. I can't see much of it anyway, and my battery's about dead. So I vetted this guy out. He's good. And I want to watch my numbers, and the more I watch my numbers, the more I'll talk about him. I don't want to go bragging on anybody too much right now until I know and see. But I got to tell you, I'm very impressed by the way it looks, the way it functions, the way it feels, the way it drives. And, Will's been studying SEO. I've studied a little bit, and I think we're both very happy with the way it turned out. Evan Morgan says, is it common to make a 6-figure income in plumbing? That's a great question. And I got to tell you, it's going to vary on a lot of different things. It depends on where you are around the nation. There are people in New York and California that would tell you, look, that's low. You need to make 6 with like that first number better not be a 1. Might want to be a 2 or a 3. It depends on where you're at because the pay scale is different all across the country. I will tell you this, me as a plumber, I don't think I've made under 6 figures a year since 1999, maybe 98. You can do what you want to in this trade as long as you treat people right, you're fair with them, you're honest with them, and you just always do the right thing. So, yeah, it's 6 figures is very easy to do. Now, you're not going to walk in your first day and get that, but you can walk in, get a job as an apprentice, and guys, here's the deal. And I talk about this all the time. We've got a video about it. Learn your way up. If you don't like what you make right now, learn something new. Learn a way to improve your value. If you're a regular plumber, become a med gas plumber. Become a water supply protection specialist. Become a residential fire protection specialist. Do what you can to learn more, to bring more value. Become a lead AP, become a project manager, become a superintendent. There's so many opportunities out there for you. And man, all you've got to do is learn your way up. And it makes all the difference in the world. Triple says, why did you want to become a plumber? That's a good one because I was a restaurant manager when I was 16 years old. I had quit school. One of my best friends was working there with me. And we were talking one night, and it's like a Tuesday, Wednesday night. It was slow. And him and I are the only two there, and we're sitting there talking. And I remember we were leaning on the counter over by the drive-thru. And he looks at me, and he says, hey, he says, are you going to do this forever? And I just looked at him. I said, man, I am 16 years old. I'm managing a restaurant. Life's good. And he looked at me and says, what happens if you get fired? Who's going to hire a 16-year-old restaurant manager? And I'm looking at him and I thought, man, that's crazy. And I just said, I don't know. And he starts telling me about his dad and his 3 brothers that are all 3 plumbers and about how much they love it and they enjoy what they do. And his dad especially, he just thought that was just the greatest thing on earth. Well, it wasn't very much longer that either I quit or got fired, and I probably got fired. And I called one of his brothers and said, hey, I'm interested in getting into plumbing. Can you help me? And he did. He helped me get a job. And I got to tell you, when I got in, I just knew I wanted to be a plumber. Thought it was cool. Didn't know what kind of plumber I wanted to be. Didn't know about commercial and residential. Didn't know about new construction and service. Sure didn't know about union and non-union. I just thought I'm going to be a plumber. That's all there is. Now, luckily, what I learned is I needed to get my high school diploma to get my plumbing license. So I did go back and graduate with my class, partly because of a girl, but, you know, it is what it is. But you know what? I think I decided that that's what I wanted to do because I like building things and I like fixing things. Now, if you were in earlier, you've heard me say, look, I've got out of plumbing. I became a bodyguard, a cosmetologist, a massage therapist, a bartender, a bouncer. I mean, I've done so many different things, but I always end up back in plumbing. And there's two reasons. Reason number one, I love what I do. And whether it is residential service or commercial construction, I love plumbing. And I love building things and I love helping people. So it's a cool deal for me. The bad thing about it is, or really the bad thing that makes me keep getting back into it, the money is good. And if you're willing to work hard, learn hard, and work harder, you can always make great money. Hybrid Edits. Love that name too. What's the worst install you ever had to do? Like, was it bad crawl space, super tight, attic, whatever? You know, probably the worst. And look, I've been in crawl spaces so tight that literally, if I had not had a screwdriver in my back pocket, I mean, I get under here and I get caught because I'm trying to go through this little valley type thing. I go through it and all of a sudden I'm stuck and right about my chest. And of course, when you get stuck and you start breathing hard, it's like you swell up like a toad. So, man, I'm reaching around and I had a screwdriver in my pocket. And I mean, I am literally digging dirt out from under my chest to get enough where I can back up. That way I could dig out more and go through there. And, you know, it's funny because that's why I tell apprentices now, I mean, if I need something fixed in a hole, if I need this fixed, they're going to dig a hole this big and say, there it is. And I'm like, no. I need room to work. I need room to lay down in there if I want to. And, you know, I don't like the tight spaces like that. Attics are about the same. You know, we're in Texas, so one of the worst problems we have is, dude, it gets hot. And I've been in attics where it's about 120 degrees, and you get up in there, and about after 10, 15 minutes, you're dizzy, you can't think. And I remember one of my plumbers called me one day, and like, hey, man, I got a question. I said, dude, I will call you later. I'm up here. I'm dizzy. I'm about to pass out. I will call you as soon as I can. So, you know, that's probably the worst is the heat, the tight areas, things like that. The only one I've ever really walked away from was whenever I did service the first time, got called out to Section 8 housing and walked in. They said, need you to go and stop a toilet. And I walked in. This toilet was not just stopped up. It was overflowing with everything. And they were still using it every 5 minutes. And I just walked in there and I thought, yeah. I said, hey, I need y'all to clean up the bathroom so I can get in there. And they're like, well, that's part of your job. I'm like, I don't think so, Tim. I went out, got on we had radios back then. You young whippersnappers, a radio is something you had in the car or in the truck that had a microphone where you could talk into it and they could talk back to you. I know that surprises y'all.
Before we jump onto this next one, let you know it is 4:13.
Okay, 4:13, and I've got to get out of here a little early today. And guys, I hate doing that because, man, I was so excited about this live stream today. I was hoping we'd have a lot of new people in here. This has been great. The engagement has been phenomenal.
Yeah, someone said he needs to start going live at 3 regularly on Mondays.
That's Will, so he can get out of here early. I know what he. I know.
I
he's
swear.
No, I'm just playing. No, Neil wants it for daggum, sure. So we'll do this and then we'll do one more and get out of here. So, man, if you've got a lot of questions, I really am sorry. I let everybody know up front that I've got to be live at 4:30 over on Zoom for a different deal. But I want to get to this one because I see the first of it. I'm adopted from Russia and went into plumbing because my heart pulled me into it, and I love it. Found out down the road, my biological family does plumbing for a living. Plumbing is in my blood. Man, I love that. And it's a neat story. I will tell you this, my best friend that got me into plumbing, man, we're still great friends. And I've worked with him. I've worked with every one of his brothers. Every one of his brothers have actually worked here for me at one point. And it's just, it's a neat deal. This is a great trade. And man, I love the fact that you're able to go back, trace your ancestry, and find out that they're plumbers too. I hope that was cool for you, because man, I think that is such a neat story. I will tell you this. Look, my father was not a plumber. He worked for the telephone company. The neat thing about it is, man, when I got into the trades, he supported me. He's like, hey, look, go for it. I think you'll be good at it. I probably should have gone to college, but he never pushed me towards it. I would have enjoyed it just to play football and chase girls, but I'd have probably failed out. I'd have been there to play, not to work. So probably ended up good for me.
I like this one because it was a Roger in the Wild spotting.
Just saw you driving on the bush. Yes, you did. I was there just recently. Even from the next lane, that mustache is glorious. Man, I love that. Speaking of, we got some merch coming in, guys. Y'all need to check it out. Did we tell them about it last week?
I think we told him about it, but the version 1 didn't come out the way we wanted. So are we just going to launch version 2, or are we going to get a test in?
I think we've already got one ordered, because I got 2 messages from Teespring saying your merch is on the way.
I think those were just shirts for the guys.
Well, I think I told Amber to order some, but we got to check and see.
We'll check and see.
If not, let's get some ordered. So it is 4/16. Adam, I appreciate that, brother.
Can't get off just yet. Finish up with Adam.
Adam, brother, I appreciate it. I'll tell you what, I don't get recognized often, but when I do it, it's pretty cool. If you're familiar with the bush and all that, up north on 75 is Chewy's. And Julie and I went to eat lunch there one day, and we walk out, and I'm headed out to the Jeep. And all of a sudden I hear, Roger. And I thought, oh man, I left my credit card or my phone or something. And I turn around and look, and the guy says, hey, I'm in high school, and I've been watching your videos. I want to be a plumber when I grow up, and I just wanted to say thank you. And I thought, man, that is so cool. So I did. I thought that was really neat. I see I have a $10 super chat from Who Can I Be? There we go. Licensed mechanical engineer in California that designs large-scale fluid systems. I love that. Your videos give me faith in plumbers again. Always remind plumbers I deal with the codes are a standard to follow, not a limit to test. I love that. And it's neat. And man, congratulations to you. Who Can I Be? I love that you're an ME. And I got to tell y'all how ignorant I was growing up. I remember I think it was the 5th or 8th grade, I took one of those career placement tests. What kind of aptitude are you? What should you be? And one of my choices was engineer. And I'm like, man, I don't want to drive a freaking train around all the time. And I know y'all are laughing, but that's exactly what I thought. So, I wish that I'd have been smarter back then. Intelligence-wise has never been a problem. It's applying myself and knowing what to do. So, man, congratulations to you. I'm also a lead AP. I went and took that because of some of the bigger jobs I was working on that were building lead projects, leadership and energy and environmental design, building things greener, water conservation, energy conservation, all that. I think that's going to be big for all of us the further we go. Go ahead, Mr. Will.
Just say 1 minute.
Oh, okay. I thought you were telling me you're good. Yeah. So, Who Can I Be? I appreciate that. Guys, this was a little early today. Normally, I am just getting going good. We do have to stop because I've got to be live here in 6 minutes, 7 minutes, depending on if you're looking at the Apple or the Microsoft clock. But man, I want to say I appreciate y'all jumping in here. Those of y'all that it's your first time here, man, if you hadn't subscribed yet, please subscribe, ring the bell, tell people about it, share this with anybody you know that might get something out of it. If it's your first time here, man, please jump over into the videos and look and see what we got. I really think that we try to bring great value to people in every video that we make. And what I like about y'all jumping in here is, look, I'm not the only plumber. Y'all see that. There's engineers, there's apprentices, there's master plumbers, there's tradesmen, there's journeymen, there's everybody in between. And we're all trying to learn from each other. We're all trying to do things better. And I think that this is a cool spot to do it because at the end of the day, man, we all want to learn and we all want to help each other. So if there's anybody in here that didn't like anything or anything like that, man, send me a message. Say, hey, man, look, I wish you'd do this. I do appreciate all the super chats. I want to say thank you to Paul Peck. I want to say thanks to Neil, to the Urban Explorer, not Neil. If you subscribe, go check out the Urban Explorer. Go check out Paul Peck. Go check out Christina Smallhorn, Will, Grayson, Amber, Julie, my moderators. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Love having y'all in here, and I love the help. Guys, if you enjoyed this, check out some of the videos. Leave me a comment. Share it with somebody you think might get something out of it. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP. Oh, and if we're not connected on LinkedIn or Instagram, go check me out because we do a little bit different things over there. Hope you enjoy it. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you in the next video if you don't get flushed.